Hey guys, welcome to KSP. I'm starting a new series called Commercial Space Race. I've gotten bored. I've been to every planet. I've done every contract, and I sort of sadly I started getting bored of KSP, and I realized that building, I've been following the Commercial Space Race, which includes Blue Origin, SpaceX, of course, Virgin Galactic, Orbital Sciences, and I've also been following Reaction Engines, Skylon. So I've built most of these craft, and now I'm going to fly them here on video and talk a little about them. And right here on the runway, we have Virgin Galactic's WhiteKnight and SpaceShipTwo. So WhiteKnight is this weird mounting plane, and it's sort of two planes bolted together, joined together with this strange wing, and it'll bring SpaceShipTwo in the middle that's mounted up here in the middle. It'll bring it up to as high altitude as possible, and SpaceShipTwo will detach, fire up his rocket engine, and take a trip to space. Just barely touch space, go to suborbit, do a little jump, and then come back. And the idea is to give someone that you have $250,000, you can go to space and you can experience a few minutes of weightlessness. And this WhiteKnight mounting craft will just turn around and go land. And when SpaceShipTwo, when it's in space, it'll fold up its feathering system. So this right here are the feathers that, when it's in space, it'll fold it up 90 degrees upwards. And the idea is when it re-enters back into the atmosphere, it'll give a nice flat surface, sort of like a capsule. So you want to have the best of both worlds. And when it's back in thick atmosphere at lower speeds, it'll fold them back down, and then it can glide back down to the runway. So anyway, let's stop talking about these craft and let's just start flying. I'm gonna spool up these jet engines, release the brakes, and let's go. Now I'm gonna do a very low angle of attack, about 10 degrees or so, because we want to go fast while we're still in thick atmosphere and to be able to get enough air into these Panthers. So in order to get us actually into space today, because we're barely going to cut it, I made some upgrades, and I have afterburning high-power jet engines meant for supersonic flight. Now, Virgin Galactic has been having they've had a problematic history, 2 accidents which resulted in loss of life. I don't want to talk about that. Although the thing is, for the 3rd time, October last year in 2015, they changed fuels yet again for the rocket engine. So the rocket engine is nowhere near to be completed if just switch fuels. They always sort of say, hey, in 2 years we're going to have regular commercial flights. But that's just not going to happen. And I think the problem is they designed the craft with certain engine parameters in mind, given performance and efficiency. And I think they're just not hitting that. The test firings are just not, and they've already built the craft. They've built WhiteKnight, SpaceShipTwo has flown, and I think the reason why they keep switching engine fuels may be because they would have to redesign the entire plane, both the mounting plane and SpaceShipTwo, if they can't meet the engine parameters that they thought they were going to meet. So anyway, this is KSP. So Richard Branson in our universe has just decided to put one of these RS-25s, space shuttle main engines on here. Now this engine is my favorite engine in KSP. It's got so much thrust, 1,000 kilonewtons for its small size. And we're in Mach 2, 700 meters per second. Jebediah Kerman flying the SpaceShipTwo. He's having the time of his life. If you notice, we have Donald Trump down there. The only one crazy enough to go on the maiden flight of this thing. So let's talk about the names. The WhiteKnight, yeah, that's pretty cool, but look at how cool this thing looks. The SpaceShipTwo. I mean, come on, okay, it's a spaceship and it's the second one, and so it's called SpaceShipTwo. I mean, they could have called it like the Switchblade or something cool, And Virgin Galactic, all right, Richard Branson is an old horny guy. I mean, I watch all these guys' interviews. Jeff Bezos, pretty good to listen to. I love listening to Elon Musk. Alan Bond, who I lately started listening to from Reaction Engines. But Richard Branson, like, he pops like lame sex jokes every minute, and he's like what, 70 years old by now. So anyway, he couldn't make it either. You know, would you go on the first flight? That's questionable. Who will be on the first flight? Donald Trump is definitely here. So we're almost up at altitude. I think at 22K, at 22,000 meters, we're going to level this up. We're still going Mach 2, so that's pretty good. So let's throttle down these engines. It's about 25%. Level out, and yeah, let's rock and roll here. And fire. Look at that. Let's get a nice sharp angle of attack. 45 degrees right here. Jebediah is having the time of his life. And Donald Trump starts to look satisfied as well. Let's give it some more thrust. 50%. We're going about Mach 3 right now. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, let's hope we got enough speed to get us high enough into space. Yeah, we got 80,000 meters. So in KSP, that is space. The Kármán line in real life is 100 kilometers, which is considered space, which is what Blue Origin accomplished. And here in KSP, at about, you can establish orbit at 70,000 meters, it's 70 kilometers. So, you know, that is, I guess, KSP's Kármán line. And we're going to hit that. Our apogee is over 80 clicks. So we've made it. Look at that beautiful blue ball underneath. We're at 60,000 meters. And Donald Trump he's pointing at the globe right now. He's pointing at the section of the world. What? Mr. Trump, you wanna nuke? That's not good for America, Mr. Trump. You can't do that, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump's crazy. Can't believe he's running for president. I don't know about that guy. But at least he shares our enthusiasm for space. Look at that. We have the music cutting in KSP that lets us know that we're now just in space. It doesn't show him floating around, but he would be floating around right now. The real SpaceShipTwo has windows like on everywhere on the surface, so you can float around and get a look out of each side of the crew compartment. Anyway, let's I gotta tell you guys a secret. One of the engineers might have sabotaged the heat-telling system because he thinks Mr. Trump is gonna destroy his world. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just watching this as you guys are. But re-entry might not go so well. Now, since I can't actually sabotage the heat-telling system in KSP, I'm just gonna change the settings a little bit for atmospheric re-entry. You know, I like my life easy, so I keep my re-entry heating at 0% because it's hard enough to build stable spaceships. Let's put it at. Let's be fair. Let's give Donald Trump a chance. Let's put it at 100%. And I really don't know. Oh no! Please don't do this to me right now. Hey guys, I'm back. If you guys are wondering what just happened, my game just crashed. It tends to happen that Fraps likes to crash KSP apparently. But fortunately it auto-saved, so I didn't have to do this flight all over again. My settings are back at 100% for atmospheric re-entry. And I've done this flight on atmospheric re-entry at 0%. I've never done it at 100%. So this thing looks kind of flimsy. I don't know if it's gonna make it. After the new update, the re-entry settings are kind of harsh. A lot of stuff burns up on them, and I just sort of wasn't up to the challenge. I had no fun, you know, burning up in the atmosphere. So let's fast forward a little bit. Let's time warp. Get as close to atmospheric re-entry. And if you can see right up here, we're about to hit the atmosphere. Let's take a nice, I think spaceships sort of usually take an angle of attack, maybe like this, at least the space shuttle did. The feathers, like I said, right here at this pivot point, they would rotate upwards 90 degrees to protect them from re-entry and give a nice flat surface to slow down and take the heat. And so far so good. We're going 1400 meters per second. There we go. There, now things are heating up. And let's just let's watch what happens. 1200 meters. No, I didn't plan this very well because I'm probably gonna end up in the water if we survive this here. And yeah, we are actually surviving. To be honest, I have to say I was hoping, you know, I wish the best for Virgin Galactic, but I was sort of hoping for this thing to blow up. Cause I don't want Donald Trump to become president. Anyway, that's enough of politics. Let's go land this thing. We're down at a decent altitude. It's, probably about 50,000 feet right now. We're gonna try to turn this thing around. We're going nice and slow. So let's hopefully we can get back on land. And we're completely out of fuel. I gotta watch my electricity. Oh my God, it's almost down. I've left, being the genius that I am, I've left the stability control on and drained all the juice. And what's, oh my God. This is what happens when you don't have stability control. This thing is hard to fly without it. And we're about to run out of juice. Come on. This thing does not want to fly straight. With me as a pilot, looks like Mr. Trump might die after all. Well, I'm surprised. We're out of electricity, but yet stability control is working. That should not happen. I don't have the cheat menu on, so that's weird. But I'll take that because otherwise it would be really, really hard to land this thing right now. And I don't want to bore you guys, so let's go risky here. Let's go Top Gun. Let's put the nose down, increase the speed, scrub off that altitude, and we're gonna. If I fuck up, it'll be on video. No retries. I don't have time for that shit. Not like those other YouTubers that don't have a job and all they do is make videos, play games all day. Well, sure be nice. Alright, we're going way too quick, so we want to scrub up some speed. Still going 100 meters per second. I think that's a little fast for runway, but we got nice flat ground, and let's put it down. Oh my God. Well, we definitely can't reuse that engine. That's too bad. That's gonna bring up the price for the next flight. Anyway, let's put on the brakes. At least our wings are intact. I like that engine. It's, oh well. What are you gonna do? Donald Trump is safe, and our favorite pilot, Jeb Diagram, is safe. Anyway, let's recover this craft. You know, guys, I'm out. The next video will probably be on. It'll be on Reaction Engine Skylon because that is. I've lately been following them, and they do some really cool stuff. And I've built a craft, and in KSP it worked beautifully. You know, it's a single stage to orbit craft. And it has so much fuel left after I established orbit, which I've always tried to build a good SSTO, and it just doesn't work when I'm the engineer. But when you take something out of something that was designed in the real world, what's interesting and was, I guess, not unsurprisingly, it works really, really well in KSP. And KSP is hard. Building a plane in KSP is really, really hard. It'll be unstable. The way the fuel drains, it'll become unstable somewhere at some altitude. You have to understand, mass, center of mass, center of lift, and even knowing all these things and designing a brand new craft, it tends to be somewhat unstable. But then I take something from that's been designed in the real world and I put in KSP and it works perfectly, which was definitely the case for the Skylon. And I'll fly that in my next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day.